Attracted by the lovely and quiet land they found in Fredericksburg, in 1989, Diane and Jack Matthews retired from their New York City jobs to set new roots. Through their world travels, for work and for pleasure, Diane knew she wanted an English cottage garden style. To learn about the plants that would work in her setting, she became a Blanco County Master Gardener. For several years, she documented her experiences as a garden columnist for the Johnson City Record-Courier. She started in front with a design by native plant author Sally Wasowski. But once she'd broken ground as a new Texas gardener, she kept on going.
I think why it's progressed from one place to another is that I'm always looking out the windows, and I wanted something pleasant to look at from every window in the house. And now I think it's at that stage.
Jack's talent as a hobby carpenter lent definition to open spaces. Diane learned to work with land that was a lot different than her garden in Connecticut.
We also thought that this was level, or I did. Coming from New England, this was kind of level. But when you have a Texas gully washer, you know immediately it's not level and everything gets washed out.
To redirect water, they dug a dry creek. Then, from one side of the bridge to the other, Diane realized she had another situation she'd never encountered.
Just on two sides of the driveway, there are very different conditions.
One side is sandy, where gophers tunnel. The other is clay and rock. That threw a new twist into her plant choices, but the diversity actually promoted her idea, a garden that leads from one scene to another. On the sandy side, inspired by a visit to Sissinghurst Castle, she planted a white garden against the fields beyond. Since its travels from sun to shade, another challenge was finding plants to fit the theme in each area. Diane was also determined to plant the hydrangeas she loved in her New England garden.
So I thought, I wonder if it would work. And that's been my mantra most of the time is, I wonder if it will work here.
Near the house and right off the kitchen, she planted an herb garden.
I divided it off into 3 different little areas. The culinary one is nearest the kitchen door, then there's the fragrant part, and then there's one for tea, because I like tea. I drink tea more than coffee.
One treasure is a crinum she admired so much at Abbey Hotel in England that they gave her some seeds.
Lo and behold, 3 years later they came up and they are gorgeous. So there's a crinum lily there that's very fragrant, it's beautiful.
On the side with clay and rock, Diane planted a meadow of wildflowers and native trees. Here, they built a shed where she overwinters tender plants and pots seeds and cuttings, including ones for her walled garden.
I started out with those hedges, which I got every single cutting from my neighbor and kept it going. And now that's my sort of secret garden and my cutting garden and my wall garden. That really came about because my husband took me on our 25th anniversary to Ireland, and he sort of unknowingly, he took me on a complete garden tour.
Jack didn't realize he'd inspired the gift that keeps on giving.
Most of those big houses, the country manors of the Georgian estates, had a walled garden or a place where you actually had to go through fences or gates and see this unbelievable thing that was hidden from the rest of the property.
When they came back, Diane created a few surprises of her own. It's a new kind of energy than the one she gave her career for many years. But for her and Jack, it's simply another excursion, this time at home.
Oh, I love it. I enjoy it. I love my wife, and I know it makes her happy, so that makes my life easier. And that's basically it.